G'day and welcome to Creek to Coast. Now, how is this for a view? For some people, it's the beach or the wide open ocean. But for me, the empty vastness of the Australian outback is where adventure really awaits. And boy, have we got an adventure for you. Australia's outback heritage defines us as a nation. So today, we're paying homage to our pioneering spirit and following a few old stock routes from Quilpie all the way up to the very heart of outback Queensland, Longreach. We've got a few familiar faces on this trip. Glenn Sweeney from ARB Bigger Waters is back with his Silver 70 series, and ARB Toowoomba's Dave Archer has brought along his awesome V8 Patrol ute, and it sounds good. ARB Jindalee's Gary Woodhead is back, and he's brought along Sam Hockey from ARB Nunda. And finally is Andrew Fisher from over the border in Lismore. This is the first time he's been out this way, and it's certainly a big change from his home on the coast. Copy, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm here.
Just looked at my navigation screen and it says vehicle is off grid. You ever been this far out before?
No, haven't been. This is my first trip out this way.
What do you think about all the nothingness, mate? There's plenty of it.
Mate, quite therapeutic, actually. It's relaxing, getting to have a look around and see what's happening.
It's dry and dusty on these dirt tracks, and because of the quality of the road surface, it's a good idea to drop your tyre pressures down to around 28 psi. Although we're the only vehicles around for miles, it doesn't mean we're the only ones using the road. Well, carcasses like this one absolutely litter the roads out west. That's why we need good stuff like that.
How much difference does that air make to the tyres?
That takes all the sharpness and the judder out of it. There's no more bang bang and things in the door pockets don't rattle. It's just superb.
It changes and rattling the ashtray now. It's unreal.
Hey Andrew, they reckon it's only about 5k's to go to the Adavale turn-off, mate.
Mate, that's going to be just a gentle cruise for us, isn't it?
Yeah, there's little one-town pubs dotted all over the place out here. They're usually half a day's drive apart.
You wouldn't want to be too thirsty.
Cos Siwas is the man quenching our thirst at the Adavale pub today. Originally from Brisbane, Cos made the big change from school teacher to publican 7 years ago. So you came all the way out here from Brisbane,
Yeah.
you got here.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Mate, I can't tell you that, I'd swear. Well, I was pretty unhappy doing what I was doing in Brisbane. And so I came up to the pub and she had the lady who owned it had a little sign out the front saying for sale. And mate, it's pure serendipity. I just went, well, okay, show me through. I've got a 5-bedroom home and a pub at a price you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I can do this.
Cos's efforts were rewarded in 2012 when the Queensland Hotel Association awarded the Adavale pub Queensland's best bush pub.
It was the first year that they offered the award. A fella walked through the door and I could tell there was something about him because he was on his own, he had a bloody tie.
Out here.
Well, he came up in a Ford Falcon from Charleville, so that was a bit unusual. But anyway, he introduced himself and said, you've been judged. And lo and behold, yeah, we won. There's always something new to discover. And that's the beautiful thing about this particular little town. It's still all here. You just got to look for it, you know?
You sound like you know all about it. Is there somewhere you can take us?
I could take it Hellhole Gorge.
What's that?
It's a gorge about 80 kilometres out west of here through what was once one of the biggest sheep stations in Australia. But just to get there is a bit of an adventure. It's all dirt road, great four-wheel driving stuff.
That's great. You've heard it. Stick around. After the break, we're off to Hellhole Gorge. Last night, Cos recommended we go and visit Hellhole Gorge National Park. This means passing through a number of properties and fences, one of which is of particular interest to the farmers in the region.
Roger, we'll be following that dingo fence, the dingo barrier fence, all the way down to the Bulloo River.
The dingo fence is one of the largest of its kind in the world. It stretches from Jimbour near Gympie here in Queensland, 5,614 kilometres south to the Nullarbor, running through one of Queensland's largest and most significant cattle stations, Milo. So this is all Milo station we're on now, Cos?
That's it, Milo, and I think it's still one of the biggest stations around the area. Around about 1891, the huge problems up here with between the shearers and the squatters, and basically was at the start of the shearer strike. So it's quite a bit of history there. Milo shed, one of the Milo sheds was burnt. Emu Dilla shed was burnt. The Gumbardo shed was burnt by the shearers. They were pretty upset.
That story should sound familiar. Wonder why? Well, it's the events that the one and only Waltzing Matilda were based on.
He wrote it, I guess he would have talked to a lot of shearers and found out the stories from those shearers and the troubles that those shearers had to go through working down in places like this. I reckon though that if you're looking for an area that that most resembles the billabongs and the coolabah trees, this is the place, because these are the plains of Blackwater Creek and the Bulloo, and this is where billabongs are made.
You may have noticed Cos had a little company. Say good day to Lewis and Emma. They've travelled all the way from Duisburg, a little town just north of Cologne in Germany, to get the real Australian outback experience. So guys, is there any place like this in Germany?
No, it isn't.
I don't know.
I don't think so. It's so different, and not just like that. Also, like all that, the rocks and stuff. It's so dry, and
The landscape, yeah.
yeah, the landscapes. It's so big, and yeah, but it's different, yeah, to Germany. But we love it. It's great, yeah. We saw it at an advertisement on Facebook for the job in Adavale at the pub, and we thought it might be a good idea to see the outback. And not just the East Coast, and because Australia is so much more than just the East Coast. And yeah, as we arrived in Adavale, we loved it, yeah. It was great.
So where are you off to next time on your travels?
We're heading towards Alice Springs.
Yep.
Then we want to go to Uluru and then down to Adelaide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have fun.
Yeah, we hope so.
Before we even get to have a look at Hellhole Gorge, a man comes up to us with some very concerning news.
So what happened?
Lost his wife.
We've been missing for about an hour.
We go for a walk and find this woman. We've just met a man who's lost his wife. She's 73. She's been out here for an hour. He hasn't been able to find her. He's driving around looking for her, so we're all going for a walk to see if we can find her. She could have fallen over, broken a bone, knocked herself out, or just be lost. Turns out our man's name is Richard, and within minutes, we're all spread out helping him look. In a situation like this, you have to stay calm, but Richard just needs a few calming words from our cameraman.
All of our guys are down there looking. Okay, they've followed that way. That's all good.
It's been an hour since we started looking, and we're all now getting a little nervous. Hasn't had a drink of water for an hour. She should be all right till sunset.
Depends on what sort of condition she's in too, I don't know.
Thankfully, Bron found a way back to camp, and as Davey brings Richard back, his face says it all.
never ever again out of sight.
I was calling cooey, 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 you know, all the whole time. I don't know how we missed out.
What scared me was I was blasting the horn all over there. I drove
Didn't
over there,
hear the horn.
and that's what bothered me. I thought you must have gone off in the wrong direction because you couldn't hear the horn. That's the thing. The sound doesn't carry very far in this dense bush.
We were walking along the top of the creek bed, and Richard, I want to go down to the bottom of the creek bed and walk along that, and I said, well, I'll stay on the top. And we did that. And
We probably went at different speeds, so that by the time I came up, even then we were probably out of earshot. So thank you everybody for everything.
Absolutely. You were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
It's all well that ends well for Bron and Richard, but for us, we continue our track north after the break.